Hi guys, I'm David.
And I'm Garin.
And we are the Print and Panel Podcast, and today we are reviewing comics for August the 12th. Now guys, I have slammed in place an edict that we have to get this episode under 40 minutes, if possible. Last week we said that we went to 50.
Well, I got shorted several books this week, so it's not going to be
That'll help.
That's not going to be bad. So.
And we'll probably call out the things that we got shorted on and kind of...
So let's get to it.
Yeah.
Ablaze, Unsacred number 7.
Now this is the last Mirka and Dolfo's Unsacred number 7.
We will get a hardcover coming out in October, I believe.
Yeah, $25, which is not bad for a hardcover.
And this will be extra stuff in there too, and it'll be how she did this and all that. But essentially, it wraps up the story pretty well. They have their kid, and of course, as she's pregnant, they go to this playground. They see all these kids screaming and crying. They're like, maybe we don't want any more kids. By the end, they have several kids, and it shows them in their later stages of life, and it's actually pretty beautiful. He gets back together with his buddies to reform the band. And
the only thing that she did that I didn't like is you don't know who Angelina's dad is.
No, that's what's weird.
He's dead,
been dead,
and you never see a picture of him or anything.
He's an angel, though. How is he dead? Never mind.
Well, because in this world, people are angels or devils.
So anyway, it's weird.
It's an analog.
Good story, and I can't wait for more Mirka and Dolfo anything. But apparently we're getting a Tynan Mirka and Dolfo crossover with Punchline. Holy
Punchline's
crap.
first standalone series. I want 3 copies of every issue.
Cannot effing wait. Aftershock for me, I joined the Future number 4.
Yep.
Essentially, she's being hung because she hasn't joined the group, because she won't join. So if they basically release her and they forge her signature, because she's a minor, she's only 15 years old, and they're like, well, you're going to join anyway. So she escapes and winds up going back to her hometown and setting the place on fire to make sure they come to find her so she can start killing people. She's going to die at the end, but...
Seems good.
Yeah. I was supposed to have Undone by Blood number 5.
Shorted.
Come in, we were shorted. Lots of fun.
So, is that the last one of the series?
Undone by Blood number 5? I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's
going to die. She's going to die in it, too.
If not, and there's an issue 6, then you'll get a review for it at issue 6. If not, we'll try to jump back into it at some point. We were both shorted Devil's Highway number 2.
Yep. I got Resistance number 4.
Okay.
So what's happened is in issue 3, you see this superhero initiative, basically, where they're given titles and they're given suits. Well, that's the anomaly. That's the government. And all these other supers that are out there are like, hey, there are 10 million of us out there. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be part of the government. And they actually kidnap someone who has powers but is using them for political purposes rather than actually supers, like flying and that kind of thing. And they get him to join and help them with the resistance. This is the true resistance. So yes, it's a resistance to the plague, and yes, it's...
Oh, he did a double entendre.
Yeah, double entendre.
Oh, there.
What's interesting too, you find out that this was not a government-inspired virus. This actually is a virus that came from a meteor. Meteor hit Earth, and then the people who handled the meteor spread the virus out. That's what started it. It's very interesting. So more to the story. There's 2 more issues. What do you got from Boom this week?
Well, you have 2 things before I have anything.
Boom, Red Mother was shorted.
Oh, lovely.
So.
Then you have...
7 Secrets.
No, you have Something's Killing the Children number 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's in there too. So the coolest thing about this is, yes, there's still monsters out there. Yes, they're still hunting. Now the monsters have started hunting older kids, not just young kids, but older kids. And there's the feds and the sheriff are coming down, trying to figure out what's going on. Well, the major character, the female lead, she goes to the kids she first finds and rescues, and she kind of reveals to him her past, which is very interesting. She never talks about her past, but if you find out that her home was being destroyed by these creatures, she could see them where no one else could. And her home's being destroyed, her parents are being killed, they have no idea what's killing them, they can't see anything. It's because these creatures live in shadow and they live kind of in a slightly out of sync. Well, she could see them and she goes after them to kill them. She kills them as a 8-year-old girl because she can see them, and this woman comes to her and gets her to join the House of Slaughter. That's the name.
The House of... What a heroic name for an organization.
This is what they do. Now, here's the thing. This is what's interesting. She said, man, she's been there for years and years, and once she realizes what they're doing is they're just simply... It's like a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. They're really not doing anything. They're training people, but they're not sending them out to do anything. And it's really because she's like, screw it, I'm going to do it myself. And so that's what she's doing now. It's actually pretty great. 7 Secrets.
7 Secrets. So we haven't been doing a Book of the Week segment, but I have got to say that this is absolutely amongst my favorite books. Really, it's between it and one other indie book that we'll talk about a little further down the road. But my God, Seven Secrets was fantastic. So obviously, with a title called Seven Secrets, we know that there is something clandestine going on. And the book sort of opens on the Seven Secrets being unsealed. A little bit of Ark of the Covenant type of action.
I mean, a little bit of that, a little bit of the seven deadly sins. I mean, this is a little
bit of, yeah.
You're not sure what all the secrets are exactly?
And I'm not sure that that's really the story being told.
You don't know.
And
yeah.
So the secrets have guardians. The guardians of Secret 7 are Ava and Sigurd. And Ava and Sigurd, because they've been assigned to guard the secrets, which is apparently this very intimate, very, time-consuming thing, they have hooked up. And Ava is visibly pregnant. And so they go to confess to what they've done and to the leaders of their order. And they're like, ooh, you did a no-no. And
so they're going to be killed.
Well,
but instead
there was never anything in there about them being killed.
I thought
they were either going to be exiled and voted out of the order, or they had to surrender their child. And so in this, forgive me, Tom Taylor, I love you, you're awesome, but in this flash forward, flashback kind of thing, you find out that the kid is then narrating the book, kind of like Saga. Yeah. And so the kid takes over narrating, and he talks about things as they happen then, and you meet the villain, Amon. Amon, who I called him in my review on davidhasissues.com, a clone of Sephiroth, and in my mind he is.
Kind of, yeah.
This kind of implacable, smiling killer, comes along and takes out Sigurd, although not before Sigurd stabs him, which is pretty great.
Right.
And so we know that the kid is at least 15, has been raised as a guardian because they chose to continue to protect their secret rather than to go ahead and raise their child. They had the option of exiling themselves and raising their kid, or going the other way, and they chose their guardianship rather than their child, which is tough. But apparently Sigurd didn't just do that, because he had a little duck in his hand, tell the boy I love him kind of thing. It was very, very, very touching, very emotional, very, very good book. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And
I think it's only going to be like 6 or 8 issues, so.
Yeah.
Well, this would be
I would assume at least 7.
Well, see what you did there? Okay.
Moving on to DC.
So, I missed Batman's Grave number 8, but I did pick it up. So, Batman's Grave number 8, let's do a quick review of that one. Essentially, Arkham has been attacked, and the guy in charge of Arkham has been killed in a secret apartment that he has within Arkham, so he can actually stay there all the time. They can't figure out who the killer is, even though they've tracked down this villain called Thorn. They don't know who Thorn is, but Batman is starting to realize that Thorn. He finds out who Thorn really is. Thorn was a kid who his parents were killed right in front of him, just like Batman's parents were killed in front of him. But Thorn went the other direction. He went villain, where Batman went hero, and he's trying to figure things out. But at the end of issue 8, it's like there's no replacement for Arkham. It's like, well, I guess I'm now I'm now in charge of Arkham. That's like that leaves it right there. So the really cool thing is, the best part about issue 8 is Alfred. Man, he's this snarky Alfred. He's fantastic. He says, what about these drones you have out there? What do you call them? Hounds? He's like, well, of course, they're basically hounds. He said, okay, you have to say it. He says, fine. Alfred released the hounds. It was awesome. So issue 9, they're starting to see more of this Thorn character, and Thorn has his own kind of mini army in Gotham, and he's going after Batman. He's going after anything that he believes is part of the machine, or who is part of the man and wants to take him down. He sends someone after Batman, and a hound winds up taking the brunt of this RPG attack. Instead of it happening to Batman at Arkham, it happens to the drone. He uses then another drone to come after him, and These drones are across the city now being attacked by Thorne's people. This has been a great book. This is one of the reasons I love Warren Ellis. He's been great.
But there will not be any more Warren Ellis with DC Comics after this ties up.
12. Yeah.
And I assume that it's already been submitted, but based on the whole allegations he's dealing with, Warren Ellis has been kind of removed. So
Yeah, it sucks.
well, I don't know that it sucks. I mean,
Well, it sucks for a lot of reasons.
If he is guilty of the thing that they said he did, it's probably the way it should be.
Probably.
So.
All right, so Dark Knight's Death Metal number 3.
Yeah.
Weird story.
Good story, but it's. What did I take away from Dark Knight's Death Metal number 3? Bat-pocalypse. The bat metaphors are starting to get a little played out. Like
The best is still. Wait, look, it has bats everywhere. Bats aren't cool. Bats are always cool. Shut up. I mean, it's this.
Harley and Bruce bantering. Anyway,
Harley in this has real short hair, and she's very different Harley.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with it. But she's not the Harley that we know. She's one of the from the Dark Multiverse, though, right? Oh wow. Okay. That's our Harley.
I keep wanting to say Earth 616, but that's the wrong universe.
Earth Prime. I guess
Earth Prime.
Prime.
It's Earth Prime Harley. So, Batman Apocalypse has been torturing Kal-El, who's been affected with the anti-life equation, and so his arm has died.
Yeah, it's become Darkseid arm. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Batman comes in and takes the brunt of this.
The gun
weapon
that he shot him with in Final, that Darkseid shot him with, and he's not Bat-pocalypse. Apocalypse is Marvel. He's Darkseid.
Batside.
So, Batside, and that's what we'll call him for now, shoots him with the gun that should have erased him from all of history as if he had never existed. And instead, he falls to the ground. And
you shouldn't be here. What's wrong? How are you not? It's like, well.
And meanwhile, he's used the Black Lantern ring to
destroy all the anti-life equation.
No. He's just resurrected the dead.
That's right. All the dead cells in Superman.
Right. So instead of the anti-life equation spreading, now it's just inert, and so Scott Free, Mr. Miracle, tells them how to get Superman out of there, and Wonder Woman beats up Batman Darkseid. Harley cracks jokes.
The Robin King comes into the secret lair where all these other heroes have been gathering, and basically introduces the new Bat Who Laughs, who is going after the Flashes, specifically after Wally. Well, they all take off, and he stays after them.
Jay, Barry, and Wally.
They say, "Let's run!" And
they run, and
this black racer's trying to follow them and trying to track them down.
Yeah.
So pretty awesome.
If you stop, I'll be right there. And so he's after Wally Manhattan's powers because his powers aren't quite the same.
No, not quite the same. Let's talk about Detective Comics 1025.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad Batwoman finally appears and does something. She's been awesome. This is well done. She's basically going to rescue these cops that are stuck essentially in a graveyard, defend themselves against the Jokers. And of course, what happens? But Batman appears.
Yeah.
My favorite part, though, is...
And then she's like, "You're not my supervisor." And they... It's the first time that I've realized that their last names rhyme.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it up until this point that he's a Wayne, she's a Kane.
Yeah.
And so he's like Kane, and she's like Wayne. And I'm like, damn it, it's Batcat again.
The good thing is they do get to rescue Lucius Fox. And, of course, they shut down the refinery that's been these 3D computers that have been making printing these weapons. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we've got more of this coming up, which is pretty awesome.
I will say that you missed one of the best damn comic books of the week.
Flash.
The Flash 759. So Barry is not truly in the Speed Force. He is trapped in another realm where Jesse Quick and Max Mercury also are. And, I talked about seeing them as zombies. The reason he saw them as zombies is his fear was controlling him. And when they manage to calm him down, it's just them.
Right.
So he starts to fight Zoom for control of his own body. So Zoom goes and hangs out with Impulse and is like, hey, grandson, let's do this thing together. And Impulse is cracking jokes because he is basically he's basically the Spider-Man of the DC universe, like Wally was.
Yep.
As they fight the Trickster. And Trickster goes to throw a bomb, and Zoom, Barry Allen, grabs it and chucks it back in his face. And Impulse is like, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
And so when he objects to Zoom's methods of hurting people, Reverse Flash Thawne's method of hurting people, he basically says, you know what? Why don't you just disappear again for a few years? Why don't you go off to some other reality and just do your thing, and we'll just forget you even exist, because really you don't, and just runs off. And so Barry Allen Thawne then goes and finds Wallace and Avery, who are with Iris. Mm-hmm. And so he runs up on him. He's like, hey, kids, come with me. We're going to go fight crime, because he's trying to form a Flash family.
Right.
And they're like, what? Huh? What? Huh? And just as things are about to go bad, Bart comes out of nowhere and just tags him in the face. And he's like, you're mean.
Barry's not
Grandpa
mean.
Barry may be a lot of things, but he's never mean. And they proceed to start to throw down. And Zoom is Thawne is going in to fight the kids. And Jay frickin' Garrick shows up and says, leave these kids alone. And he's standing over him with the helmet. And I'm like, yes! I just lost it for a minute when Jay Garrick appeared in the comic. I was like, but wait, Jay's not old in this one. Jay's young in this one. What? He's in main continuity. Oh my God, the JSA is real. It was just such a cool moment.
My guess is this is after Metal. It's going to have to be.
Well, I don't know. He's old and metal.
Well, in Dark Knight's Metal, they rescue all the heroes.
But the emotional validity of having Jay Garrick stand up to Thawne possessing Barry's body is just like everything I've ever wanted in a Flash comic.
It's awesome.
759 was amazing.
And we still have more to go.
Yeah.
So my last DC is Green Lantern Season 2, Number 6.
Yep.
This was a little more coherent than most.
His meds were working when he wrote this one.
So essentially, Barry's been injured badly. He goes to I'm sorry. Hal's been injured.
I got you talking about Flash. You're like, I want to read that issue.
So Hal's been injured badly. So he goes to. They take him to the rescue ship, and they're taking care of him. They take his ring away. His ring is almost destroyed, and the there's an anti-life core that exist in the anti-universe. Anti-universe, their core comes to basically take...
I thought you said this was more coherent.
It is, because these are characters that existed previously. Anyway, they come and they're trying to kill Hal, but they're actually trying to kill whatever lanterns they can. They kill a couple lanterns, and as Hal's trying to escape, this lantern ring says searching for new recipient, new host. He grabs it, forces it on his hand, and says, "Okay, now you're mine." Oh yeah, it's Lantern 2814.1, and Hal, of course, he kicks back in, and yeah, it was good. Still weird.
It doesn't sound good.
So let's talk about Image Comics.
Well, I can't talk about Adventure Man number 3
because we didn't get it because Diamond. Thanks, Diamond. Big Girls number 1.
Big Girls number 1, man.
You know, David did have a review of this, which we did post. Big Girls number 1. Dark, but really good.
So the premise of the comic is that men are turning into monsters. But really what's happening is there's some sort of behemoth plague or whatever that causes humans, both male and female, to mutate and grow large in size.
Right.
But with men, they mutate into kaiju-like monsters.
Yeah.
Very Pacific Rim-looking monsters.
Actually, more like War of the Worlds, almost. Kind of a combination of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And
they're mindless creatures, but they're not mindless creatures at the same time, which is interesting.
I think there's going to be more to that.
Yeah.
And they call them the Jacks. Yeah. And so they are attacking and destroying humanity. Mm-hmm. And the Preserve is protected by the large women, big girls.
These giant women. Exactly.
Who have grown to this enormous size, but they still have their minds.
Of course.
And they've been trained how to fight these Jacks. They have giant guns.
Yeah. Or they use a subway bus, a subway part to kill them.
Jam it in guy's mouth.
I mean,
it was cinematic in the way that the issue played
yeah.
out. So
you can tell Jason Howard is a fan of the kaiju art because just the way he is drawn.
Yeah. And he is, so I'm a sucker for books that are drawn and written by the same person.
Yep.
And Jason Howard, so well done. Everything about this was
Very,
particularly
very well done.
good.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ember, the big girl, is helping the High Marshal. I can't remember his name. To try anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To hunt down what he suspects is some suspicious behavior. And it's this guy laying in lots of groceries.
Oh yeah, tons of groceries. He's buying groceries, not the same place all around the city. Well, they discover him. They bust in his place. And they find this massive toddler.
Yeah, Alan, the little 4-year-old who's mutated on one arm, and he's huge.
Yeah,
and he's doing his thing, and the dad flips out and says, "All right, Alan, wrestle and get away from him."
Right.
And when
it's more like wrestle, get away.
And Alan kills a few people just
yeah.
because he's 4 and he's huge and he doesn't know any better. And he goes to bust out the sidewall to get away because his dad's shouting, "Run, Alan, run!"
Right.
And when he goes to bust out,
the big girls,
he would have died. I mean, he was falling from the high-rise apartment.
Yeah.
And Ember's waiting outside and grabs him by one foot, and Alan, being a little 4-year-old's like, "Swing me, wee!" Which is all great, and you're like, "Oh!" And seriously, at this point, I wrote the rest of the story in my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so they're gonna fix Alan. They're going to stop the mutation. Ember's going to be surrogate mommy. She's going to fall in love with the little guy. No. The High Marshal walks over and just shoots the kid in the head. And just executes him. Panel with brains out everywhere. It destroyed me.
It's bad.
And, of course, Ember's completely torn. She has literally a toddler's blood on her hands. And she goes back to base and is kind of pouting. The High Marshal kind of comes and yells at her and tells her why he's so brutal.
Yeah.
And maybe he has to be. And then a Jack is attacking, and so she has to run out and fight the Jack.
There's 2 Jacks, actually.
Well, it was one to begin with, and then she realizes that she's probably going to be overwhelmed. And they talk about the big girl Apex.
Right.
Apex is clearly going to step in an issue, too, and save Ember's bacon.
Yeah.
But anyway... you find out, you see the dad, who's just brokenhearted at his toddler having just been killed, is kind of sneaking around, and he runs into this lady called Gulliver.
Yeah, Gulliver takes him into this secret hideout.
Where there's a bunch of pregnant women and clearly toddlers being grown into Jacks. So, it's a very, very interesting issue. Very dark, but very good, very well written. Absolutely loved the hell out of it. It was great.
So moving on, Marvel.
Amazing Spider-Man 46.
I'm read 46. It's in the stack. I just didn't get to it. So what's going on?
So
more Sin Eater, right?
Sin Eater is killing. He executes, and I forget their name, Dr. Nefario's group with Whirlwind and all of that. Anyway, it's a fake Sinister Six. He executes all of them with his shotgun at an opera or Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah.
Shakespeare in the Park. And the crowd's clapping as he's killing them because they're supervillains, right?
Right. Yeah.
But they all get back up. Yeah. All he's done is taken away their negative impulses. They feel they're now good people who regret everything they've ever done, and they're basically tortured souls that they regret all of the evil things they've done and they can't get away from it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it is really, really profound. And, of course, Pete's like, why are these people getting up? Which I still, I really expected this part of the run to be a little bit more compelling. It's better than podcasting with J. Jonah Jameson, but at the same time,
So, Empire #5, did you actually get to read it?
I did get to read it, but
I
you
did
skipped Captain Marvel 19 that I didn't get to read.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry.
So I bought a digital copy. More on Hulkling and Wiccan getting married. Very sweet.
Very cool.
Like the first 3 or 4 pages are just, aw. And
They're a great couple.
they are.
Yeah.
And I like Hulkling and Wiccan.
They were fantastic young Avengers. They were
They were
well done
fantastic
characters.
in Death's Head.
Exactly.
I mean, it was just
Death's
really
Head.
good.
I almost forgot about Death's Head.
So
Sorry, Teeny. I forgot.
So Wiccan's like, I know that that's not Teddy, and I know Teddy's out there, and he teleports the heroes, and I think it's Thing. No. Maybe it is Thing, Invisible Woman. But anyway, he teleports them to where Teddy is, which is in the brig on the ship.
Right.
Where he's been, and so they grab him, and then they teleport to the throne room where fake Teddy has been, and it's great. There's a little panel, and I don't think you could easily breeze past it, but Clert, Super Skrull,
Right.
is like, oh God, I felled him again. Blink and you would have missed it, but it was very funny, and. Captain Marvel accuses whoever is being false Teddy, which we know who it is.
Yeah, I know it's his grandmother.
Is his grandmother,
Yeah.
of crimes against the Empire, and says, "You're not going to set off the pyre." And she was like, "What are you talking about? I set off the pyre a long time ago. I've destroyed Earth's sun." So, flash to Tony and Reed. Reed in a Iron Man suit with the Fantastic Four logo, and Reed says, well, in 5 minutes the Vibranium Man will be underrun, and the Kotati Death Seeds will be planted, and they'll erase all non-plant life in the universe, and in 4 minutes the sun's going to implode. We've got to fix this. And that's where the issue ends, and it's like,
So, Empire Avengers number 2?
I do predict Johnny Storm going in and reigniting the sun.
That's going to happen. Yeah.
He's going to go supernova and
Take Pyro with him.
yeah.
Uh,
Empire Avengers number 2.
They're in the Savage Land for the most part, and essentially, Sheena has been kind of taken in by the Green, and she's been tricked into thinking that she's helping things that she's not. Black Knight's been captured. Dr. Voodoo comes after him, and Dr. Voodoo says,
I don't know why that happened, but we can fix that.
okay. Dr. Voodoo comes in, and he kind of helps. He actually takes hold of Man-Thing's body and tries to rescue. And the end of the issue though is Kevin being stabbed through the heart, through the chest.
Mm-hmm.
So by one of the Kotati. So it should be interesting to see what happens next. X-Men number 3.
So you didn't read Empire Captain America number 2?
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, Captain America 2. Yeah, excuse me. It's very predictable, unfortunately, because of the way it's written. But essentially, the Kotati that's been hidden in the bodies finally kind of branch out, and they're going to go destroy Mexico City. Just destroy it, because they're not even going to try to defend it. So Captain America comes in and goes to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and rescues the ones he can, and that's you see this secret plan that's been going on all along. That's the gist of the book.
Groovy.
Yeah.
So Empire X-Men number 3. This has kind of gotten ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the good thing is over at 4, the cannibals are going after the Mega Brain. The Mega Brain winds up exploding out into something new and different. It's this ultimate.
It's a behemoth.
It's a behemoth, yeah.
It's a kaiju.
It's a kaiju, yeah.
It's a plant kaiju.
I didn't see that part coming. I thought there was just being give me a brain, but no, it was something else inside.
I mean, the cool thing is you've got Exodus and Sinister and Lady Mastermind and all sorts of like psychics that are helping the X-Men fight the Kotati. Ilyana goes demonic. That's the coolest thing that happened.
Yeah, I was supposed to have Hawkeye Freefall number 5. Got shorted from Diamond. I'm talking about Immortal Hulk.
God, you talk about an issue that hits you in the emotions. We're gonna have 2 in a row here. So Hulk is being Baby Hulk, and I hate to call him Baby Hulk because he's not.
Right.
That's just the real Hulk. That's the childlike.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand why people are hurting
He is
him
not
Hulk.
in Immortal Hulk mode at this point.
Right. He is Devil Hulk. Mode.
Devil Hulk mode, exactly, yeah.
He is the childlike Hulk, and he had been helping people, and the leader tricked him into gamma exploding.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think he gamma exploded. I think Rick Jones did.
Yeah.
But
Rick Jones blocked the gamma explosion
Yeah.
from one side.
right.
Anything who was behind him was destroyed. Anything in front of him wasn't.
So
But that's not really Rick Jones, right?
right.
That's Rick. That's Bruce Banner's father.
So,
And
no,
Rick
it's Sam Stern.
Sam Stern,
It's the leader.
the leader. That's in his Rick
Yeah.
Jones' body. That's right.
So, Gamma Flight shows up and starts beating up the Hulk,
Yeah.
and he rips an arm off of Crusher Creel, which
Absorbing man, you shouldn't be able to do.
shouldn't be able to do.
Right.
And Titania loses it and starts beating up the Hulk worse. And Crusher Creel says, "Cool, I'll just absorb the gamma," and then he turns into a giant kaiju monster. And it's like, damn it.
Great story.
Great story.
You've done such a good job.
Beating
with this.
on childlike Hulk hurt.
was unnecessary. But it's like it went to a certain point, they went to a level, and they're like, oh, we can't stop now.
Yeah.
So that's basically what Puck says. We can't
Yeah.
stop. Marauders number 11.
Oh my God.
A couple things going on in here. One is that you finally got the funeral of Kate. Which
Xavier said, we're not trying to get a resurrector. We've tried and we've tried and we've tried. We don't know what's wrong. And we
36 times.
We
My
need,
18 times. 18
we need
times.
to go back to resurrecting people. We can resurrect and stop queuing up the 5 just for Kitty. Sorry.
So they set her body aflame. Ileana provides the flame, and they
Pyro
does.
She sparks. Pyro burns.
And then Emma's mourning, and guess who appears?
Lockheed.
Lockheed appears, and she says, "Lockheed, you're alive." And then she says, "Show me." And so she reads his mind, and she's like, "Son of a!" And she like slams her fist into the wall.
She's got the vision is Sebastian Shaw blasting
blasting
Kate
Kitty.
Pryde with the shotgun.
And then she's about to destroy her chest, and she goes, "Wait, no, we'll do this a different way." So they go back one more time, and they're trying to get Kate.
Well, she goes to Storm, and Storm and her go to Xavier and the 5 and say,
one more time.
give it one more try. And then Emma goes with Lockheed on her shoulder.
She realizes she realizes why none of them have been successful. Not that they weren't actually resurrecting
Well,
her.
she reaches out to the body where Kate should be, and goes, "Oh, you're phasing." And
She grabs her.
She communicates to Kate and phases her through. She says, "Shadowcat doesn't burst through things. She phases through things." And so she reaches out, and Kate's hand comes out and grabs her.
So
Whoop!
these 5 are like,
I'm
my God,
crying.
finally! There were tears. The 5 are like, finally! It's been like 100 times. It's like, it's been 18. Shut up. Rogue saying that it's been 18. Shut up. So yeah, it was very well done. Good story. Darth Vader.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Are we gonna talk about her at the end?
Yeah. Here she is, nude, just having been reborn.
So what happened?
And she's draped in a red thing and said, "Red King made his move, huh?" She said, "Yep." She said, "All right."
So now we got resurrection. Thank God.
So
It's taken enough time.
So
Jerry
it
doing
is
all
not
over.
a law on Krakoa to not kill another mutant.
That's true.
So what they're about to do, it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering if Sebastian Shaw is going to end up exiled like Sabretooth.
I think it's not gonna be pretty because when Xavier sees it, and he will see it,
Yeah.
there's gonna be judgment.
But he's going to let Storm and Emma Frost and Kate Pryde
Take care of it. So Star Wars Vader number 4.
Yeah.
Dark. These people on Naboo, they don't know who he is.
So they call themselves the Amidalians, which is beautiful.
And so they're
It's
basically
all of her handmaidens.
they're all of her handmaidens, and it's even Rick Ali, and it's all these people that we saw in episode 1.
Captain Typho.
They're basically like they're trying to get vengeance against Amidala. They don't know.
Vengeance against Vader, who they think killed Amidala.
And Anakin. They think
Right.
that he killed Anakin too, which
And they
technically,
keep talking about, you killed Anakin. You killed Anakin.
and they're like, he's like, did you know her? Did you know her? Did you know Anakin? I mean, like, he's. I think the conflict is there. He's like,
I'm not dead. I'm right here, guys.
Right here, guys. So, but he can't do that.
Which is what I expect to get in the emotional outburst of the next issue, because the cover is the Hayden Christensen version of Anakin Skywalker split with Vader. And my God, these are amazing books. But he is the first recorded person in history to have single-handedly killed one of the Leviathans of Naboo.
Which he really shouldn't be proud of, because these things live like 900 years, and it's like one of the last ones.
86% chance that he just caused the extinction of the species. Yeah. He also killed some Gungans in this one, and I'm like, where's Jar Jar? Because I think they could drop Jar Jar in there, but I want Jar Jar to be aged.
I'm pretty sure Jar Jar's dead by now.
I think so.
I think he died in one of the Clone War things. Pretty sure. So one last Marvel book, and we're almost at our mark here.
Yeah. We're getting close.
X-Force number 11.
X-Force number 11.
So these guys that came onto Krakoa to attack Krakoa, they are now finally doing an autopsy.
The first version of them exploded.
Yeah.
Rig your body with dynamite. That's amazing.
So then now they're doing these autopsies. And what's the thing that pops out of the autopsy?
It's a little version, and if you kill that one, a smaller one pops out, and if you kill that one, a smaller one pops out. Yeah. And they're running around killing these Russian nesting doll type people.
But really, what's the ultimate thing they're really going after?
That's a good question.
They were going after this sword, the psychic sword.
Cerebro. Because and this ties directly back to House and Powers.
Yep.
Cerebro in its original incarnation was a detection system.
Right.
In its second incarnation, it was more of an enhancement of Xavier's powers.
Yep.
Now Xavier uses it as a weapon.
Exactly.
And him and Magneto have turned the sword, or the Cerebro, into a sword. And so they're about to escape with it, and Quentin Quire gets in the way, and Quentin Quire gets straight up stabbed
with the sword.
And because he's a mutant, the sword by itself wouldn't have went through the portal.
Right.
But because he's a mutant,
they shove him through the portal. And the portal winds up with this Russian.
I don't know who he is.
I don't know who he is either.
He looked like Magneto, like a rudimentary Magneto suit.
Yeah.
And kind of a human-looking Sinister, but I don't know who that dude is, but he's a douche.
Oh, yeah.
And he has the sword of Cerebro.
And now he has the sword of Cerebro.
Yeah.
So, should be interesting to see kind of what happens. So, yeah. Good book. Good series.
Week, man.
Good week. Yeah.
Good week. Lots of emotionally touching, fun fighting.
Kitty Pryde's back. That's all I care about. Kitty Pryde's back. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Makes all the difference in the world. So thanks again for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. This is we're trying to make this as succinct as possible and not making it too long. Please check us out on Facebook, printandpanelpodcast.com. Check out our Facebook page. Check us out on Twitter. We're on, of course, YouTube at Let's Talk Comics.
And I'm going to be doing more in-depth reviews of certain things. If you want to know more about Big Girls or Seven Secrets, please check out my review on davidhasissues.com. Also, there's a really fantastic review of Cult of Dracula #1.
Yep.
Which I was privileged to get an advanced reader copy of.
And we do have an interview coming up soon, too. You'll see it next week. We're actually excited about that, too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Have a lot of fun.